Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Godby, and I'm an equity research analyst at Johnson Investment Counsel, joined today by Joe Edelstein, who's our consumer analyst. Today, in this edition of the JIC Research Edge video series, we're going to give you an overview on P&G's upcoming proxy vote that'll happen in a couple of weeks. Before we dive into the issues, Joe, can you give us an overview on what a proxy fight is?
Sure. So a proxy fight, proxy battle, really an effort to win control over an organization. Typically, it's a shareholder that has a disagreement. They don't like the direction of a company. Perhaps it's some other corporate governance issue. But ultimately, both sides will present their case, and the shareholders will vote for who they believe is most correct.
All right, Joe. Well, now that we know what a proxy fight actually is, can you give us an overview on who P&G's proxy battle is with and how long this has been going on?
So P&G is currently in a proxy fight with Nelson Peltz of Trian Partners. This has really been going on since the middle of February. That's when Trian had first announced their stake into P&G. Since that time, both sides have really presented their arguments as to why they believe Nelson Peltz should either be on or off the board going forward. One of the biggest issues so far really centers around the $12 to $13 billion cost savings productivity plan that P&G announced last year. Now, that plan follows a $10 billion plan that they had started back in 2012, although the benefits that were expected from that had really been offset by pretty significant foreign currency headwinds. So even though the company had divested a number of businesses, cut headcount by 32%, and also shrunk down the number of brands from 170 to 65, we're still waiting to see really ultimately what the real benefits of that will be going forward.
Joe, Nelson Peltz obviously has a lot of disagreements with P&G's management team. So let's say he is elected to the board. What does he do differently?
So I think first it's important just to recognize that Mr. Peltz would only be one voice out of an 11-member board. Perhaps it turns into a 12-member board if they make that adjustment. But based on what we've heard from Trian so far, I would expect a number of changes. Mr. Peltz is looking to change the corporate structure. He believes that that will actually bring a level of accountability to that cost savings plan that I mentioned earlier. He's also looking to ramp up innovation. He's looking to use M&A as another means to not just grow the top line, but also bring in outsiders to the company, really around an issue that he feels where the company has created a bit of an insular culture, if you will.
Joe, that's a great overview of all of Nelson Peltz's thoughts and ideas. Obviously, P&G's management team feels very differently. So how have they responded to Mr. Peltz's claims?
So management has really come out and said that they believe Mr. Peltz has an outdated view of that corporate structure. They also believe a number of his other ideas are flawed. Management, from their standpoint, feels that they have made the tough decisions, that they have restructured the company in a way that will give them better accountability. They also continue to focus on innovation, particularly when they're talking about the categories that they want to position themselves in. They're looking at categories that are large, daily use categories that actually consumers face a problem, but where a new product can actually deliver a solution to that problem. They feel very strongly that that is the right strategy going forward for their products and for their company. And I think even beyond that, the board already views itself as having, independent, highly engaged board, really made up of best-in-class type personnel. They don't necessarily believe that Mr. Peltz, fits with that group as they look to set the strategic direction of the company going forward.
Great, Joe. Well, thank you very much for all the commentary today, and thanks to you for watching at home. We understand this is a very important stock to you. We understand it's a very important stock to the city of Cincinnati. So if you do have any questions, please reach out to your portfolio manager. We're more than happy to help out. Thank you very much.